Introduction. What if, without warning, the Earth suddenly stopped spinning? For just 5 seconds? Only 5 seconds. That sounds harmless, right? After all, 5 seconds passes in the blink of an eye. But in reality, if Earth stopped rotating even for a moment, the results would be catastrophic. Oceans would surge across continents, buildings would collapse, winds would become violent beyond imagination, and millions of lives could be at risk. Today, we explore one of the most terrifying science questions ever asked. What if Earth stopped spinning for 5 seconds? Earth is already spinning, right now. Most people don't feel it, but our planet rotates at incredible speed. At the equator, Earth moves at about 1,670 kilometers per hour, 1,037 miles per hour. That means you, your home, your city, everything is racing through space together. We don't notice because everything moves smoothly at the same speed. There's no sudden change, no jolt. But imagine if Earth suddenly stopped. The ground beneath you would halt instantly, but everything else wouldn't. People, buildings, oceans, even the air would keep moving at that massive speed due to momentum. The result would be catastrophic. Violent winds, global destruction, and unimaginable chaos. Thankfully, Earth won't stop like that. But right now, without feeling a thing, you're already moving faster than a jet. The first second. The instant Earth stopped spinning, the atmosphere wouldn't stop with it. Instead, it would continue rushing eastward at tremendous speed, faster than most airplanes. Air would turn into a massive, unstoppable wall of wind sweeping across the planet. Within moments, cities would be hit by forces strong enough to tear buildings apart. Skyscrapers would shatter, and streets would become chaos. Cars, trees, bridges, and power lines would be ripped from the ground and hurled through the air. Anything not firmly anchored would be swept away instantly. People caught outdoors wouldn't stand a chance. Many would be thrown violently by the extreme winds. All of this would happen in just the first second. A single moment would be enough to unleash devastation on a global scale. What happens to humans? Humans are also moving with Earth right now. If the planet suddenly stopped, your body wouldn't. Due to inertia, you would keep moving at the same speed Earth was spinning. Near the equator, that could mean being thrown sideways at extreme speed. Even indoors, you wouldn't be safe. Walls, furniture, and everyday objects would turn into dangerous projectiles. Buildings themselves could collapse under the sudden stress. In the sky, airplanes would face immediate chaos as the atmosphere continues moving while the ground stops. On roads, vehicles would instantly lose control, leading to massive collisions. In such a moment, survival wouldn't be guaranteed. It would depend on where you are, what surrounds you, and a great deal of luck. Oceans would not stay still. The oceans move with Earth's rotation as well. If the land suddenly stopped, the water wouldn't. It would keep rushing forward with enormous force. This would trigger massive tsunamis surging across the globe. Towering waves would slam into coastlines, flooding entire cities within moments and sweeping away everything in their path. Ships at sea would be thrown violently, crashing into one another or being hurled onto land. Ports and harbors would be destroyed almost instantly. The sheer momentum of the water could carry it far inland, turning some regions into temporary seas. Low-lying areas would be especially vulnerable, disappearing beneath the flood. With such overwhelming force and scale, the moving oceans would become one of the most devastating consequences, nearly impossible to resist or escape. Would everyone be affected equally? Not everyone would be affected equally. The most extreme effects would occur near the equator, where Earth's rotational speed is highest. A sudden change there would create the strongest forces, leading to more violent impacts on land, oceans, and the atmosphere. In contrast, regions closer to the poles move more slowly due to Earth's shape, so the immediate effects might be less intense. However, this does not mean they would be safe. Global consequences like climate disruption, ocean shifts, and atmospheric changes would still impact the entire planet. Overall, countries near the equator would likely experience the most severe initial effects, while polar regions might face slightly less dramatic motion but still significant long-term consequences. Your exact location on Earth would play a major role in how strongly you are affected. What about gravity? Many people believe that Earth's rotation is what creates gravity, but that idea is incorrect. Gravity primarily comes from Earth's mass, not its spin. Even if the planet suddenly stopped rotating, gravity would continue to hold everything firmly on the ground. You would not float off into space or experience weightlessness. That said, Earth's rotation does have a small effect on how heavy you feel, especially near the equator. The spinning motion creates a slight outward force that reduces your effective weight in those regions. If Earth stopped spinning, that outward force would disappear, and you would weigh slightly more at the equator than you do now. However, this change would be very small and hardly noticeable compared to the massive environmental and physical consequences of such an event. In reality, the increase in weight would be the least of your concerns. Conclusion: a 5-second stop in Earth's rotation may sound harmless, but it would cause catastrophic destruction. Violent winds, massive ocean surges, and widespread damage would occur as everything keeps moving due to momentum. Survival would depend on location and luck. When the rotation resumes, a second shockwave would bring more chaos, including possible earthquakes and further environmental damage. This scenario shows how essential Earth's steady rotation is, reminding us how delicate and finely balanced our planet truly is.